If you've stopped saving, let us help you start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow from US.
But you can just take it out. That's it. It's not going to be
Actually, I don't know if we even had to cut him. I'm not sure he turned out. His brother was an Echo player.
Oh, really?
Yeah. His dad lives like across the street from me.
We'll try not to comment on the scoreboard. You'd think this guy would have the scoreboard would have it down by now, though.
Welcome to the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon, the home of the Portland Trailblazers. But tonight, Oregon will crown its 6A boys basketball champion as the 25-2 Jesuit Crusaders take on the Lake Oswego Lakers. Jesuit going for a historic four-peat as a state champion. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Kamian, along with the coach, Ken Harris. You know a little bit about Jesuit High School, having coached in the Metro League. Gene Potter, one of the most effective coaches around, no matter what kind of talent he has. And looking for the four-peat this year, the different players he would have done it with will be a truly great accomplishment.
Very much so. This is not a team that is built around any one particular player, which is true of most of GC, but he doesn't have anybody going to Kentucky or Kansas. They're going to be tough defensively.
And you think about the stars over the years, of course, Kyle Wilcher a year ago. Now it is a true team effort. And so the question is, what does Jesuit need? It's usually scoring, and the guy who's been an impetus more often than not has been one of the backcourt aces, and that is Keon Rayner. And in this tournament, when he's been hot, he hits three-pointers early. Jesuit's really in control of the game.
Well, what we're really looking at here is a team that is leading the tournament defensively, with Jesuit, of course, averaging, giving up 38 points a game, holding opponents to 27% shooting from the field, against a Lake Oswego team, on the other hand, that's scoring them 65 points a game. A good defensive team, but what we're really looking at here is an outstanding defensive team against a good offensive team, and it should be a real battle. And
of course, Lake Oswego has a pretty big-time offensive player in Calvin Hermanson. He is only a junior, but he has become a center of attention. Back-to-back 32-point games in this tournament, and this is a young man who has developed into a guy who can score from all over the floor.
But he can shoot the three. He came out last night and established the whole temper of the game for Lake Oswego. Hit 3 threes in the first 3 to 4 minutes of the game. He is an outstanding player, not only a junior.
And of course, this is a rematch of one of the great state championship games of all time, the 2005 Jesuit Miracle Rally in the second half against Kevin Love and Lake Oswego. They have met once in postseason since then. Let's make the starting lineups. For the Jesuit Crusaders, they are the visiting team. You see Mark Schaff, the head coach of Lake Oswego there. And now the Jesuit starting lineup. The backcourt, Xavier Coleman and Keon Rayner. Man in the middle, pretty good shot blocker and will play a role defensively. Colin Spickerman, a 6'8 senior, who's really grown up in his senior year. Gene Potter, his 20th year, 421 victories, 5 state championships, including the last 3 in a row, and he acts the same whether it's the first or last state championship, first or last game of the season. He believes in consistency.
Right. Gene is not only a great coach, he's a very popular coach amongst the coaching fraternity also, because of the style of his coaching, but also just because he's a really great guy.
For Lake Oswego, Daniel Verberg, 6'3", junior. They have a deceptive backcourt. You may not have heard of these guys, but Jason Lunau will knock down threes at the drop of a hat. Corey Coombe, the digger of a dog, gets on the floor, plays defense. And a really important guy who missed a lot of games with injury, Alex Matthews. He was the quarterback of the state championship football team. When he's in the lineup, LO's a better defensive team.
Definitely is so. You know, the nice thing that watching Lake Oswego is that they do have this star player, but not everything revolves around him. These other kids are absolutely really good three-point shooters, for example, and they do defend well.
Mark Schaff in his 17th year, 311 career wins, the state championship in 2006, second place 2005 and 7. That was, of course, the Kevin Love era. So Mark's coached some pretty good players. You talk about Love and, of course, Salim Stoudemire, and he has handled that balance, and he's been very good at putting the right role players around high-quality players.
And that's not an easy task. A lot of times coaches look at somebody who has a player like a Kevin Love with a great envy, but it's a great, tough coaching task to meld the team together around such a player, and he's done a really good job with it.
And you see Hermanson shaking hands with Gene Potter. I'm sure Gene, who's, you know, probably sandbagging those, says, take it easy on us, Calvin. Don't be hard on us tonight. Hermanson got his points in the first two meetings. These teams have met twice this year. Jesuit won 2 close games. Here's your officials. 2 of the best in the state of Oregon. Dale Danner and Greg Adrian will blow the whistles. These 2 teams met twice this year. Jesuit won both in close games. And one of them, Calvin Hermanson, had a chance to win the game with a late shot. Didn't get it done, so it's been that close between these 2.
That's right, and it's a whole different ball game now. It's a lot later in the season that both teams have developed. Again, I'm not trying to say, for example, that Jesuit is a lot better defensive team than Lake Oswego. It's just that they hang their hat a little bit more on it. You know, their defense has to take them into their offense, whereas Lake Oswego plays good defense. But they have some more offensive skills, I think, maybe than Jesuit.
Jesuit, the visiting team, in the black and green uniforms, trimmed in gold. Lake Oswego in the home white, trimmed in navy and red. 2005, this was the championship matchup. 2 years ago, they met in the round of 16, and shows you how things change in high school basketball. Calvin Hermanson was young and unproven, so what did Mark Schaff do? He held the basketball, and it ended up being, what, a 48-16 game, one of those.
And the interesting thing to do is Colin Spickerman and Cal Hermanson played together in their out-of-season sports team, so they're good buddies.
And they're going to jump it up, and Spickerman wins it. Jesuit has it first. Here we go. And a little tifo coming out of the Lake Oswego crowd. A big puff of, I'm assuming, chalk dust on the end of the floor. First opportunity denied by LO. And here comes Combe. Taking a little bit from the Timbers Army there. Combe goes straight to the hoop, and they get an early foul on Spickerman.
That's really a good move on the part of the Lakers. You got to attack him in there. And if they can get Spickerman out of the game, Jesuit really doesn't have somebody who takes his place for at least very many minutes. It would be a big loss.
Combe averaging a couple of points, couple of rebounds a game. Mark Schaff refers to Corey as the guy you want to take in the dark alley with you. Dives on the loose balls. Plays hard. Had a big offensive game against Lincoln in the quarterfinal. Knocked down 10 points. And a quick 2-0 lead for the Lakers.
Both teams are playing man-to-man, as to be expected.
Jesuits only 2 losses this year to their traditional rival, Central Catholic, in a very respectable game against Oak Hill Academy in the final of the Les Schwab Invitational. That was only a 7-point win for Oak Hill. Rainer attacks and draws the foul.
Yes, the Oak Hill game, I didn't go see it personally, but I watched a good portion of it on television on the replay. And they did battle Oak Hill. And Oak Hill, every kid at Oak Hill Academy,
it's a Division I player, essentially.
They go Division I. I mean, they're not a prep school either. They're a basketball manufacturing plant.
Rainer at the free throw line. Shoots 81%. He does a little bit of everything well.
Yes, it is. Well, you need to understand he's only a junior, and he was the MVP in the league, in the Metro League.
Well, he was telling me the other day, he says, I like to make guys foul me. because it unbalances the defense. Look at Jesuit moving on D. Yeah. This is what they practice. 4 years these guys have been working on this as freshmen, JVs, and LO beats it with some nice passing. Verberg gets to the hoop.
Yeah, nice pass and go movement there by the Lakers.
You know, these two teams know each other well. You obviously know what Jesuit's going to do defensively, and I think as a coach, you probably come into this game and say, let's just play. We know what they're going to do. Let's just make sure we do the right thing.
That's right. And both teams, actually, their offenses are very similar. And they both would like to play the same defense. Sometimes Jesuit gets a lot of credit for being a better defensive team than our other opponents, but the Lakers are a good defensive team too.
Well, Rayner's warmed up. He's got 5 already, and it was the Milligan offensive rebound that kept that possession alive.
See, he can do it all. He can take it to the hoop, and he can shoot the tray.
Elo going to go to the bench, and a foul on Rayner.
One of the things Jesuits kind of added to their defensive arsenal is that they're doing a lot of trapping now, which they didn't used to do very much of at all. But now it's pretty much a staple part of their defense. They'll pick you up man-to-man, and then when you make the first pass, they'll go and trap you.
T.J. Dorado into the game, 5'11" senior, could easily be the starting guard on this team, but should get a good ball handler when he's in. Ball's deep underneath, and Lunau wrangling with it. Held ball. It's still LO possession. Rayner is on a mission along with Coleman.
Yeah, they're fired up.
Well, Lake Oswego's task is not to turn the ball over, because Jesuit will make you pay for that. And I think Jesuit's task is just to keep the score low. I think they get into a low-scoring game. They feel like they can beat you in 1 or 2 possessions, or at least deny you.
Right. Well,
it's Coleman. Draws the foul. The X-Man will go to the line.
Well, Lakers have to have enough patience on offense to get a good shot. Now, this last possession, they got the good shot, but did not convert. So, but first of all, you got to get the good shot, and then you've got to knock down at least 50% of them. So that's the big key for them. That's got to be their #1 goal. And, of course, for Jesuit, it's to keep you from getting those good looks at the basket.
Coleman, a very good three-point shooter. Here's how he got to the line.
Definite foul.
And that's 2. Well, both teams clicking at the free throw line. Everyone's ready to play tonight. It's the last night of the season, the last game of the season for high school basketball in the state of Oregon. I saw another foul. So this game being called close early on, and that might not favor the more aggressive team. Milligan gets that foul.
That's kind of a favorite tactic of veteran officials like this. They like to come out and set the tempo a little bit as far as this is how the game is going to get called, but then they actually will probably back off a little bit.
Yeah.
But the players have in their mind, boy, this is going to get called tight.
So team fouls already, 3 on Jesuit, 2 on LO. Pressure on Hermanson at the top. Hermanson will take that 3. A little off balance.
Yeah,
so he can't stroke his first one. Good board by Verberg. Drops it to the baseline. They've got Quarterman in the game now. Blake Quarterman, a good scorer off the bench. There he is underneath. Missed the layup.
Well, the Lakers have come in with Tony Dorado, who will be he's kind of their backup point guard, but he's played so well that he's getting a lot of playing time.
Rayner now has 7 points.
There's the trap we were talking about.
In and out three-pointer for Verberg.
But see, now that's the risk that Jesuit takes to give up that kind of shot. But if the Lakers aren't going to knock him down.
Well, neither team good from the outside yet. And another foul on the rebound going against Jesuit. That'll be 2 on Milligan. Now, Sean Milligan's pretty important because he's probably the best defensive player on this team. I know Spickerman's bigger, but he's the guy they put on Hermanson to open the game, and he's got to come out. Werner Nisler, the three-point specialist, comes on.
Well, Jesuit always substitutes at about this time of day. They usually substitute 3 guys in. And Nisler comes in, which he's in, and Maddock is in. And sometimes they even bring in the freshman Bay.
Watch Nisler here. A lot of action. Quarterman hangs onto the ball. Quarterman brings a lot of energy both on offense and defense when he comes in. Has to hang on to it. Watch Hackman there extending.
Unlike the semifinal game for Lake Oswego, we do not see Hermanson getting a lot of opportunities here.
Lake Oswego dropped Lincoln 62-46 and then pulled away from West Lynn 67-45. Jesuit up 5 here, 3.5 to go first quarter.
Excellent patience.
Maddock off the bench, gives it up. Rayner misses the 3. And Dorado. Brings it down the floor. This is a little quicker Lake Oswego lineup right now.
This is what the former coach at Lake Oswego, Sonny Long, used to run. He called it peanuts. And it's really a delay type of offense. And the Lakers have gone to it quite a bit, particularly against people who like to pressure you. That's what they're looking for, is the back door. And they got it.
Hermanson tippy-toes to the hoop for his first basket.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Jesuit defends that delay tactic where they spread you out and try the back door.
Oh, and a big rejection at the other end by Hermanson. Serious swat edge right in front of the yellow crowd.
Nice.
Spickerman low, can't connect.
Spickerman wasn't able to connect on it, but it was a nice effort. You see all the exchanges on each wing, and then all 5 guys will eventually end up in that middle of the floor. And it's obviously controls the tempo, but that doesn't bother Jesuit too much.
Quarterman has it high. Hermanson's only taken 2 shots in the game so far. Again, he scored 32 points in each of the last 2 games. There he is deep, double team, ball's knocked out. Hackman got in there, and then Spickerman and a hell ball, and it goes back to Jesuit.
Yeah, like a lot of players, the first thing that Cal did, unfortunately, is put the ball on the floor. Bam, the double team, triple team, and he lost it.
Well, and it just gives you that extra time for help to arrive, too.
Yeah, it's a tough thing for players to learn because most teams don't do that to you. And
if you can get a team in the habit of helping well on defense, do you really ever need to play zone basketball anymore?
Well, I don't think so.
But really?
But yeah.
You don't have to leave your defender as much, your other players as much.
You don't give up the threes in the man usually nearly as much as the zone does.
Crusaders. This is something else they do well, is move the basketball, melt the clock. Coleman, no. Ooh. Flying rebound by Ryan Bay, the freshman in now.
Yeah, he's a good-looking freshman.
Corner 3 for Nisler, doesn't go. Rebound Hermanson. Hermanson's starting to assert himself a little bit now. He's got a couple rebounds. Like to get his offense going. Blue now. Quarterman breaks out for it.
Yeah, so if you wonder who likes this tempo, Jesuit doesn't mind it. Lake Oswego is used to this particular offense, so I don't know there's a plus or a minus on for either team. But
Hermanson going to take Maddock to the hole, pulls up and connects.
That was a pretty tough shot, actually. He was fading towards the baseline, but he knocked it down. Boy, he's a fine-looking athlete.
And just a junior will get an immense amount of attention as a senior. Already has.
Yes. I'm hoping the schools in the state of Oregon are looking at him and getting after him. I don't know. Haven't heard anything, but he's got 4 good options in this state at least. Oh, no.
Coleman right through the defense and scores. As the quarter comes to an end, and how many times have we seen Gene Potter's teams pull that? at the end of a period over the years.
That was the lack of help, just what you were talking about, helping on defense. And then didn't get it there.
1 quarter complete at the Rose Garden championship game of the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires Boys 6A Basketball Championships. Jesuit 11, Lake Oswego 8. This is the OSAA Network.
If you've stopped saving, let us help you start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow from US Bank. Save a little every week with every purchase, every paycheck. Watch your savings grow. When you reach $1,000, you'll earn a $50 rewards Visa card. Earn another $50 when you keep it for a year. Save for a wedding day, a family, or your house. Just start. All of us serving you. US Bank.
Jesuit Nation engaged in this one. A year ago, it was boys and girls winning state titles. Now the boys going for 4 in a row. You see a little 4-peat hanky there. And they are ready to celebrate. Start of the second quarter, 11-8.
I think this is first team to get, or the only team maybe that'll get to 50 could win this one.
And in that case, that pace does favor Jesuit.
Yes, it does.
You know, an interesting difference. We talk about the Jesuit reserves, although the starters are back in now. Gene Potter's tradition has been everybody practices together, the freshman, the junior varsity, the varsity. So obviously everybody who comes through over 4 years sees everything. You're in practice. There's 2 guys in this team that have taken kind of a different path in that they were freshman B players and JV2s, and sometimes those kids would never even get a chance. But Jack Hackman and Werner Nisler have made it all the way through that system.
Well, Lakers had a mismatch there with Speckerman guarding the Lakers point guard, Corey Coombe, but he ended up blocking his shot.
Not a lot of offense in the first quarter. Jesuit 3 of 12, LO 3 of 8.
Just the fact that they have 4 more shots tells you that there's the turnovers.
Well, 3 offensive rebounds made a difference too. Reimer, the leading scorer, with 7. To the corner, long 3-pointer, bango! That's Hackman. So there's the guy who was injured as a freshman, missed tryouts. His father had to kind of plead his case to even get a chance to be in the program.
Well, I like it. I like his shot. I don't like his shoes real well, but I like his shot.
But you can see his shoes from space. Come on.
Yes, you can.
Spickerman picks up the loose ball. Oh, and shuffle the feet. There's those shoes. Yikes. Do not adjust your screen. That's Orbit Yellow.
Orbit Yellow.
He's ready to play for the Ducks.
Some of us old-time coaches say that's where they should be in orbit, but
very good.
I know that the kids love them.
You missed the West Lynn bright pink.
I saw him.
Tournament.
I saw him.
West Lynn, another school. Great spirit in this tournament. Brought 2 teams, huge, very talented band, and great student and parent contingent every night. They didn't take home a trophy, but really a good showing for those programs.
Well, so far for the Lakers, you could notice who's not getting many touches.
Hermanson now just 3 shots.
Yeah.
And there's Hackman blasting his way to the hoop. He'll get to the line.
That's what Jesuit does to you. You know, they know. I'd love to be the little bug in the room that listens to what Gene says, gives out the defensive assignments. I have a hunch that the Jesuit kids, about 5 of them raise their hand. I want Hermanson.
Oh, yeah.
And they definitely take it on as a challenge.
Here's Lake Oswego going to another different look as we take a look at the foul again. Takes it deep, gets Hermanson moving backwards. Lake Oswego goes to Jack Anderson, hard-nosed rebounder. They call him the Ron Artest of the program. TJ Dorado comes back in. Matthews back in. So this is interesting. LO looking a little more physical right now.
Yes, they are. Well, I think they have to be.
Bring Colin Kaslik in. All around Hermanson. Let's see what happens. So it's an 8-point game when they make that move, 16-8.
One thing I would have our viewers take a look at is to watch the Jesuit defense, how little they foul and how little poking and grabbing and shoving and pushing that a lot of coaches teach their players, unfortunately. And they don't do that stuff. They just play position defense. Their defense is in their feet.
Milligan just picked up his 3rd foul, so he will have to sit. But Ryan Bay, the talented freshman from Tigard, comes in.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Lakers, it doesn't drop off when they bring it in.
In fact, athletically, that's a better exchange for Jesuit. Yeah. Less experience, but Bay can get you at both ends of the floor. He might be the next guy you really hear from with Jesuit. Strong move to the hoop and the basket.
Wow.
And that is Koslick getting to the line. And the freshman, that was Maddock getting the foul. I thought it was going to be on Bay. But here's a free throw for Koslick, averaging 6 points a game, playing 16 minutes off the bench. Coleman now triggering the offense. There's the freshman Bay, drives and scores. Well, the intriguing thing about Jesuit this year is they've had a knockdown outside shooter for a long time in that program, and they really don't this year. But they got a lot of this.
Yeah.
You know, Rayner, when he's on, will get you from the outside. He had a good start, 7 in the first quarter. He's back in the game now.
I said they don't kill you with their offense. I mean, they're a good offense team. They don't kill you with their offense.
It's an offensive foul on Maddock, his 2nd. Pleading his case with Dale Danner.
I think he has a good case, but he's not going to win it. I don't think the defensive player was set. I've disagreed with officials probably a few times.
I've seen that.
Yes.
Here it is. Boy, nice cross. Well, right there. I don't think he'd ever stop moving. You saw the feet get there, but I don't think the body ever stopped.
Yeah, that's right.
Now we had a foul at the other end. Now the whistles are blowing, and Koslick will get to the line. Colin Koslick, the 6'3" junior, shooting again. He missed a free throw a moment ago. Wow, this is an adventure. Well, Lake Oswego not exactly taking advantage of the bonus.
They sure aren't.
9 fouls on Jesuit, and LO's 0 for 2 at the line.
If you look at, there's been 11 minutes into the game, and Lake Oswego scored 10 points. At this rate, they'll score 32.
Spickerman's 3rd rebound. So this game definitely has a green and gold feel to it right now. Biggest lead of the game, 8 points. Coleman, Jesuit working the clock. Reached the midway point of the 2nd quarter.
They're giving LO a little bit of their own medicine here.
Coleman. Spickerman up high.
What I like for Jesuit is they're getting some mismatches because Hermanson oftentimes is on one of the speedy guards.
From the corner. Heckman. No. Rebound Hermanson. Now he was out on the perimeter. He jumped all the way back underneath to grab that.
He's active. That's his first really good look. He couldn't convert.
Missed the 3. Matthews on his back couldn't handle it. Get underneath. Matthews scores. You know, they missed this guy. He had 2 different foot ankle injuries in the early season. And at one point, 4 of LO's top 6 players were out. And the biggest loss is the guy on the bench, Connor Griffin.
Right. Well, plus they got a late start because, I think 6 of these guys were football players on the state championship football team.
Yeah, we get a chance. We'll look at Coach Mark Schaaf on the bench. Here's Rayner again.
Not many players can do that.
Second. Well, if we get a look at the Lake Oswego bench, you'll see sitting next to Mark Schaaf is the injured player who would make a huge difference right now, Connor Griffin.
That was a big-time shot. That's a Division I college type of shot. Turn and shoot over the defender like that.
Hermanson makes it 21-14. So Hermanson has a couple of baskets now in each quarter.
Look how quick. Oh.
Coleman.
I think he called the foul on Hermanson. I didn't see the contact.
That'll be 2.
Yeah.
Boy, that looked pretty clean.
Yeah.
Which Greg Adrian, who we've both known a long time, the official underneath there, we'll be hearing from him about any discussion of his officiating tonight.
I think that was the other official that made that call on that one.
Coleman makes both free throws. Lakers on the attack. Less than 2 minutes left in the first half. Tom Welter, executive director of the OSAA, joins us at intermission. Dorado in the corner.
You see, as soon as Hermanson put the ball on the floor, they doubled him.
Dorado knocks down the 3.
Tony Dorado. I remember him from when he was a younger guy in youth basketball. His dad's, I think, basketball man at Nike. He's doing a good job. Here's the backup here, point guard.
And at the other end, Coleman answers. So Coleman's got 9 and Rayner has 10. And, that's been more than enough offense for Jesuit. 26 and a half. That's a great number.
Those 2 guys are outscoring LO.
Spickerman, who's got a 7-block game in this tournament already. Try it again.
Could be 8.
Yes, indeedy. Hermanson can't finish. Rebound. Jesuit almost stole it away. And there's our test. Jack Anderson diving after it, committing the foul. So let's go back to SWAT Town. A good fake by Dorado.
Yeah, he had him beat, but
Bombo.
Pickerman came from off the ball to take that one away from him.
I know 40 seconds, and I'm sure the Crusaders will hold for one play. Anderson's trying to do something about that. Anderson was one of those Laker football players that hoisted the blue trophy. State champions back in December.
Yeah, you don't particularly want to foul Jesuit. They shoot the free throws awfully well, too.
Say they're 8 of 8 in this one.
Yeah. Either Coleman or Rayner will go one-on-one here. Looks like Coleman's going to do it.
5 seconds. Foul. Oh, offense.
I don't know if that was a great defensive play or a great guess, but I'll tell you. Jack Anderson did a good job of taking the charge of that one. Better shoot it.
Here it is, Hermanson. No. Boy, it's been that kind of game. Lake Oswego has not got off the schneid yet. It's a 9-point lead for the 3-time state champions. Jesuit 26, Lake Oswego 17. More to come from the Rose Garden. You're watching the 2012 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Boys Basketball Championships on the OSAA Network.
Saturday night, someone went through town slashing tires. Sunday morning, one of Andy Spencer's customers at Les Schwab went to Andy's house to see if he could help.
You got it.
Andy got in his truck and drove up and down the streets, helping anyone who needed it. He worked at it pretty hard most of the day.
That's all of them.
Andy didn't tell anybody no. He really went above and beyond his duties as a manager and a neighbor. I'm James Hamilton, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
You can enjoy the best moments from this year's OSAA State Championships over and over again. Just purchase a high-quality DVD from PrepFilms.com. Order online from PrepFilms.com and you'll get an enhanced version that includes scoreboard graphics. PrepFilms.com also has an extensive archive of past OSAA State Championships. PrepFilms.com, your online home for OSAA State Championship video. Welcome back to the Rose Garden championship game of the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Boys Basketball Championships. And as we like to do on championship night, Tom Welter, the executive director of the OSAA, steps in and joins us. And a tremendous basketball game here. You pretty much, if you say Jesuit versus Lake Oswego, it's going to be a good game.
No, it's a great game, you know, and as I just said, as well as Lake Oswego is playing and as well as they're playing defense, Jesuit seems to be playing a little bit better. Shooting a little bit better, playing a little bit better defense, but it's still anybody's game, and certainly look forward to the second half.
The Crusaders, of course, chasing a fourth straight state championship, which has not been done before in large school basketball. You've been a coach and an athletic director. You know what it's like trying to run a team year to year. The idea, you know, it's not as if you get to trade for players or do things like that. To be able to do that in a consecutive streak like that is very impressive.
Well, I never won 4 league championships, not in a row, period. So I know how difficult it is. And so now, you know, Gene Potter does a great job year in and year out. And I think this is a testament to his ability as a coach. I think everybody thought this was Jesuit's quote-unquote down year, and yet here they are in the state final and leading at halftime.
Well, we can't let a halftime go by without the championships, without thanking our friends at US Bank and Les Schwab Tires there for their continued support of this championship. And, you know, US Bank, we've talked about before, one of the longest, I think it is now the longest running sponsorship of a prep championship in the country.
You know, it certainly is, and we're extremely, you know, grateful to both US Bank and Les Schwab. We couldn't do all the things we do. We have 119 state championships that we offer each year, and we wouldn't be able to do what we do and provide those opportunities for our schools and the kids in our schools without their continued support.
And, of course, Les Schwab Tires, you know, they talk about the sudden service and all their slogans, but it's really when it comes to helping athletics being part of the community, it's like you ask, they come.
You know, they've been a wonderful partner for the last 10 years, and not only are they a partner with us in our programs, but they're partners in virtually every community that they have a store in. They're partners with the local high school as well. So, you know, they're providing stuff, you know, commitment and support at a statewide level, but also a lot of community-based support for both school and community activities.
Now, the OSAA has been involved in a lot of very forward-thinking objectives and plans over the past couple of years. Obviously, joining in with the OSA network here in video, the OSA Score Center, which is some very advanced internet, very convenient for fans to see everything as it's going on around the state. And you've really embraced technology and how it streamlines things for schools, because that's what's happening in the school world nowadays, finding technology that works for you.
You know, we've been fortunate to have a guy on our staff that's been able to do a tremendous job. We come up with some crazy ideas and he makes them work. And certainly our Score Center has been, you know, very well received, not only by our member schools, but by communities statewide as well. And in fact, we need to do some more work now, because we find out that at tournament time and in play-in games and stuff like that, it's
too busy.
It's too busy and it's very slow. So we've got to get more bandwidth, or whatever they call it, and make sure that we can meet the demands that we've created. And we're committed to doing that.
That's a good problem, isn't it?
It's a wonderful problem to have.
All right, Tom Welter, executive director of the OSAA. Thanks as always for the visit.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it very much. Look forward to a great second half.
All right, we're going to bring Ken back in just a moment and get ready for second half action. Jesuit and Lake Oswego, 26-17 on the OSA network.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, you slammed it. The OSAA Foundation was founded in 2005 to enhance the future of Oregon high school activities. Since then, more than $800,000 has been raised to positively impact student-athletes statewide. OSAA Foundation grants have helped schools introduce the Impact Concussion Management Program and help thousands of students through the Student Assistance Program. To get involved with the OSAA Foundation, visit osaafoundation.org. (26-17), Jesuit leading Lake Oswego. Halftime continues on the OSAA network. Get Harris back with us right now. We talk about what we've seen so far, and you hate to throw the game out right now, but if you're Mark Schaaf, what kind of buttons can you push to make your offense more productive?
Well, number one, I would suggest that they be just a little bit more patient. And again, it's difficult to get that through to kids because they've played probably 26 games where they didn't need to be that patient and they can still have success. But if they're going to have success tonight, they're going to have more patience where they get better shots. And if you look at the statistics of the shooting and how they've done, a lot of that's because they're not getting very good looks at the basket.
Let's look at those first half numbers right now. Rebounding pretty even up. The assists, the turnovers, that's actually not a bad number for Lake Oswego. But the real thing is the shooting percentages. And, 3 of, let's see, where's our halftime numbers here? 7 of 20 for Lake Oswego, 7 of 17 for Jesuit. So even the shot opportunities, but Jesuit's gotten to the free throw line, and that's probably the biggest differential, 8 for 8 compared to just 2 for 4.
Well, plus the three-point shooting, if you look at Jesuit is 4 for 8 and LO is 1 for 8, and then the free throws 8 out of 8 for Jesuit and 2 for 4 for the Lake Oswego. So they're not getting to the line as often, for one thing. But again, it boils down to patience. It's difficult to get that through to the young players at this, All
right, let's take a look at some of the first half highlights right now. And here's Lake Oswego trying to get something done. Hermanson wasn't pretty, but he was able to get to the hoop. He was 3 of 7 from the field.
That's right. And they're not getting him the ball in good positions. Plus, as soon as as soon as he gets the ball, they run another guy at him. And so he's always having to shoot over the top of 1 or 2 people. It's difficult.
And then some scrap and hoop there, as Nate McMillan likes to say. That creates another chance for Lake Oswego. And you notice it was Alex Matthews, the guy that started the rebound, ends up rewarded with the basket. Now other end of the floor. And here's Jesuit, and Rayner was clicking early.
Yeah, but see that was a wide open three-point shot.
You're trying to stop them defensively, but Jesuit just so quick with the ball movement. And then they get a little bit of this on defense, too. Watch Spickerman. Dorado thinks he has space. Yeah. No, you don't.
There was no way he was going to get that shot off. But he didn't have a lot of other alternatives.
26-17 is our score of the second half when we come back to the Rose Garden. It's the 2012 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Boys Basketball Championships on the OSAA Network.
My family and I were enjoying a big vacation in Tahoe. After a great day on the mountain, our car wouldn't start. I got a jump, but it kept dying. Everyone in town said, "Go to Les Schwab." When I pulled up, George delivered. He quickly tested the battery and confirmed it was a goner. While he installed a new one, I finally got my first relaxation of the vacation. It's nice to be treated like a neighbor so far from home. I'm Clay Gilman, and that's my Les Schwab story.
Les Schwab, doing the right thing since 1952.
You can enjoy the best moments from this year's OSAA State Championships over and over again. Just purchase a high-quality DVD from prepfilms.com. Order online from prepfilms.com and you'll get an enhanced version that includes scoreboard graphics. Prepfilms.com also has an extensive archive of past OSAA State Championships. Prepfilms.com, your online home for OSAA State Championship video. Third quarter ready to begin. Jesuit 26, Lake Oswego 17. It's our final trophy game of the night. Earlier, Lincoln, for the second straight year, wins 4th place, defeating a very active David Douglas team. Great showing for them here at this tournament. They hadn't been here for a while. 58-57. And North Medford, which plays a very high-energy physical game, you'd think they'd be tired on the last day. They rallied and took 3rd place from West Lynn, 58-53.
Right, the Lincoln-Douglas game went back and forth right at the end, and it was a very exciting game. And then North Bedford, I think, played their best basketball game of the tournament.
Watching Lincoln and Douglas both come through the consolation bracket. Early timeout as LO throws a trap. David Douglas and Lincoln both really, they didn't care. They were in the consolation bracket. They played to win, and it tells you a lot about those programs and those young men.
Yes, it did. Now, I really like what that Jesuit player just did. I mean, Jesuit had all their 5 timeouts left, and he got in a trap. And almost every time I've seen that situation occur in this tournament, that player who was in that trap threw the ball away. And this kid had enough. He said, "Oh, they're doing something different here. So let's see what we need to do." Intelligent players.
Yeah, Gene Potter saves those timeouts. He wants to have something very specific to give you in a timeout. So he lets the players sort things out a lot as far as momentum. Now a dribble for Jesuit. Maddox starts the second half into Spickerman off the glass. Maddox flies in there. Hermanson up with the board. But they lose it. Right back to Jesuit.
There were so many hands involved, and they were slapping at the ball, they couldn't figure out who did it.
And a foul on Lake Oswego. And I'm seeing a little frustration already on the faces of the Lakers.
Well, they just had this possession where the Jesuit got every loose ball. Well, the 2 guards for Jesuit are so quick. It's really, really tough to put the same kind of pressure for the Lakers to put the same kind of pressure on Jesuit that they're doing to them, because their guards are so quick. They're going to go right around you if you get up on them.
One-hander by Spickerman. He scores. First basket for Colin Spickerman. He's done everything else in this game. They've asked him. 3 rebounds, 3 block shots.
Yeah, he gives them a presence in there that they need to have.
Hermanson.
Tough shots.
Spickerman again. Block number 4. Open court, open man. Hackman gives it up. Crusaders up 11, looking for more. Coleman drew that foul. Hermanson hits the deck.
Perfect example of the great quickness, though. First of all, Jesuit reversed the ball across court twice, bang, bang, with 2 to 3 passes. Then the guard takes off for the basket. Great
3 fouls on Hermanson.
Wow. I don't know you can afford to take him out.
No, I don't. I don't think you want to miss an opportunity now in this game if you're Lake Oswego.
Yeah, but he probably won't stay out very long. But see, look at who's guarding Spickerman. 5'11" kid.
Perimeter shot miss, and Quarterman comes down with a rebound. Scrap at midcourt. Holm just hangs on to it. Verberg, 3-pointer. Yeah. Got it, Luno.
Notice, though, clean look at the basket. One of their few clean looks.
Free ball for Hackman, nothing.
Well, Lake Oswego needs a few more misses like that from the part of the Jesuit. Well, I hate to keep repeating, but when Lake Oswego gets the good looks, they make some shots. But when they hurry it up, they have trouble.
Free throws for LO. Well, frankly, any chance with the clock stop now is kind of relevant for Lake Oswego. But as the great Bill Shanley would say, you've got to make your free throws.
You've got to make your free throws. Yes.
I thought you told him that. You taught him that, didn't you?
No. I don't even remember Lickety Brindle. Lickety Brindle?
Up the middle.
Yeah.
By the way, a little late, but since we're here at the Rose Garden tonight and talking about it, much love to Sean's. He's going to go to the broadcaster's wing of the Hall of Fame. Maddock from the baselines. First points. 10-point lead. Biggest lead's been 11.
Hermanson's coming back in.
Combe. 3.0 block. Look who gets the block shot. Coleman.
Yeah, not a good decision.
Luna didn't know he was there.
Luna, no. He thought he went by, but there's an example. See how quick the guards are.
Look at Rayner. Finds Spickerman for the stuffer.
Yeah. They just can't pressure their guards. And they're so quick you can't get the help over to them.
And you know, that's how you get to play guard for Jesuit. You've got to do that in practice all the time. You've got to react, and you got to play defense.
Yeah, well, and you also have to
Let's go back to the other end.
Very quick. See, look at boom.
Rayner. It's the pass as much as anything. Made that easy.
Yeah, well, the post defender had to come over to take away the lay-in, and that left his man open.
Oh, look at Spickerman saluting the students.
Yeah. Leave that for the post game.
Spickerman is an excitable young man. That's kind of his style. Boy, and LO having trouble at the free throw line. Here's Hermanson back, now down 12. So he was out 2 minutes. But you're right. I mean, they got to play him. If you're going to have a chance to come back, you got to have this guy in the game.
You wait till you're 20 points behind to bring him back in. What good's that going to do?
Yeah. And Mark Schaaf knows that.
Yeah.
Your best chance to win with them. I mean, LO needs to play some defense right now. You know, they get one free throw, Jesuit gets 2 or 3 points. Tillman.
See how he breaks Dorado down?
And again, a good pass inside. Over to Spickerman. Good idea by Milligan because he was in traffic.
Yeah.
Spickerman almost gets the steal near midcourt. TJ lost it. Yeah, they're really taking it to Dorado. And then Coleman steps on the line.
That's happened a lot here in this tournament. I've tried to ask people, how come there's so many kids that are stepping on the line? I don't know the answer to that. But
it has happened, you're right. And I'm wondering, is it the red line that's a little different? Red line next to black
I don't know.
On the floor?
It's far.
But it's happened, you're right. It's happened in a lot of games.
A lot.
A lot of people have also taken NBA threes just to make sure. The follow-up is good. Hermanson.
Nice controlled tip.
It's only his 8th point of the game. He goes to the free throw line.
I don't think he's going to get 32 tonight. In fact, I'm not sure the team's going to get 32.
4 fouls on Maddock.
Make it a contest there.
Maddock will come out, but he's done his job on defense.
Oh, yeah.
Bay comes in. Coleman's going to get a rest. Nisler comes in.
Yeah. They play 8 kids a lot. Sometimes a night, but tonight Max Rich, who usually comes in for Spickerman and gives him a spell, has not seen much action.
Yeah, and Rich,
I don't think he's been in the game.
No, he hasn't. And he's a big, strong guy.
Yeah. Spickerman's pretty much played the whole game, I think.
Well, and the thing they were talking about this week is Spickerman really matured during this season. I mean, he was kind of the wild card, a free and easy kid, and he became more and more valuable as the season went along. Remember his brother, Breton, who went to U of O to play football, ended up leaving football, still a student there.
Yeah. Another guy stepping on the line.
Well, you think this was Matthew Niderita? We had the trees.
Schaaf is not too happy about it. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah, he's really giving it to Greg Adrian.
He's out of the box, but give you a little more leeway here in state championship games. But you see again how 14 breaks down the defense.
Boy, Rayner is just moving that ball. Oh. Spickerman fights for that rebound and takes it away from
Colin
Kaslik.
Kaslik thought he had it, and he just...
Rayner, look at that, between two defenders.
There's really only one way to defend those two kids, and that's just to let them shoot it. But unfortunately, they shoot the ball quite well.
Spickerman again.
5 blocks.
Remember, he's had 7 in one game in this tournament.
Well, he's got special motivation because he and Hermanson are good buddies. So I think he's out to show them that, hey.
They'll be talking about this later on.
Well, he says, hey, you may make the All-Star team, but I think maybe I will too.
Spickerman, just for his defense of his tournament, has to at least make second team.
Here's the freshman.
Jesuit is playing like a controlled frenzy right now. Oh, and that goes to LO.
I don't know that I saw any traveling, but yeah.
I mean, I've seen Jesuit play and win championships under control. This team is playing with so much energy tonight.
Yes, yeah. Well, I put it all pretty much in the hands of the two guards.
Yeah, it's been Rayner and Coleman all night.
They can't be handled. You look at the pressure they can put on you, but you can't do it to them.
Quarterman finds a way.
That's Alex Matthews, wasn't it? I think, yeah, he did a nice job there. Got by Spickerman, too.
Spickerman wanted the foul, doesn't get it. Final 2 minutes of the third quarter. Still 6-point game. Quarterman again. We get to the line.
Well, you know, they're playing hard. They're back in it. I mean, it's a 6-point game. A lot of time left.
Now, Blake Quarterman, it's amazing he's playing as hard as he does. He was injured in the first game with Jesuit, fractured his kneecap, and came back. Missed 5 weeks. Talk about the injuries that kept LO without their best guys. And they had to rework their offense a little bit too. You know, early in the year, Hermanson, we saw him with the Schwab. Hermanson was taking a lot of three-point shots. And they hit a stretch in January where they really struggled. Couldn't get by anybody. And then after they got through an ugly game with Canby, they had 2 weeks where they just had 1 game a week. They kind of went back to the drawing board, changed the offense, moved Hermanson around a little more.
Right. See the young man that's standing up next to Coach. You and I can see him. The viewers can't. Next to Coach Schaub, they miss him too.
Well, that guy's been out all year, Connor Griffin.
Yeah.
Who would be a huge difference maker and will be a big difference maker next year. Matthews back in, missed the layup. Hermanson fouled on the board. He'll get to the line.
In almost every game like this, the team that's behind will make a run. And the key is, can you, as I used to say, can you put your finger in the dike and stop the leak? And just let them use up all that energy. We'll find out.
Timeout Jesuit. Minute 21 to go in the third. 32-27. This can't bury the Lakers yet because they're fighting their way back into it, but it is literally every one possession at a time.
It is. And Hermanson has to stay out of foul trouble. Again, they've got to do something to make sure they contain those guards. Either cheat off of somebody or something. But they've got to stop the penetration of the guards.
Well, Jesuit and Lake Oswego have been in this tournament and have been fighting for trophies. Look how many years this goes back now. Now, DNP means did not place. It means they didn't make postseason. In 2008, the only year out of the last, what is this now? 7 of the last 8 years, 2008, the only year that neither one of these teams wins a trophy.
Was the school closed down for the flu, or what happened?
They just didn't quite. Nobody quite made it that year. But both these teams have had championships on their mind, and I don't think it got any better than that
2008, I know for Sunset was the senior year of Garrett Sim, the young man who's played at Oregon.
Right.
And I know they had a really good year and came to the tournament. And they took one of Jesuit's spots, or took away from him, I guess.
Jesuit does not have a basket in the last 3 minutes plus. 9 straight for the Lakers. Final minute of a third. Turnover. Breakaway. Anderson for 2. 1-point game.
There goes the guard.
Three-pointer. Yes, indeed. The answer. Hackman.
Big basket.
His second three.
Big basket.
Hackman's second three-pointer. He's got 8.
Okay. They need to stay cool.
Dorado floater. Ooh.
Look at that.
35-33. Well, 15 seconds. Crusaders all over the last shot.
One of my favorite strategies at this time in Lake. Oh, that's okay. Lake O has fouls to give, as I said. That's only
right
the third foul.
Yeah.
And at 8.5, I'd let him throw the ball in, dribble it once, and foul him again. Try to take away their rhythm and keep them from getting a good last shot. But you can do that sometimes when you haven't had many fouls. But yeah, 1,001, 1,002. Go get him. Foul him right now.
5 seconds. Rayner for three. Bang! Rayner has 13. And through 3 quarters, Jesuits lead still intact, but it has shrunk to 5. 8 minutes left in the 2012 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tire 6A Boys Basketball Championships. Crusaders 38, Lakers 33. This is the OSAA Network.
If you've stopped saving, let us help you start. Savings today and rewards tomorrow from US Bank. Save a little every week with every purchase, every paycheck. Watch your savings grow. When you reach $1,000, you'll earn a $50 rewards Visa card. Earn another $50 when you keep it for a year. Save for a wedding day, a family, or your house. Just start. All of us serving you. US Bank.
Eight minutes left in the season. Will Jesuit four-peat or will LO take the trophy? Bob Akamian, Ken Harris, this is where you want to be that second weekend of March, the Rose Garden.
Well, Lake Oswego scored 17 points in the first 2 quarters. Scored 16 points in the third quarter.
Much better.
They need to do that again.
Well, and you mentioned at halftime what Jesuits only allowing 39 points a game, and LO was on a pace to not get there. Now they are a little better shape offensively. Coleman starts the fourth, misses. It is Coleman, Milligan, Rayner, Spickerman, and Hackman on the floor.
Well, good defense of Coleman that time. Made him take the jump shot over an outstretched hand.
Gerber, good penetration. Quarterman has the ball knocked away. Coleman stolen. Spickerman up with the outlet stolen. Hermanson gets it. $13 for Hermanson. He has 7 rebounds. It's only his 10th shot of the game. Raymer. Through the hands of Hackman. Raymer is kind of playing at another level than everybody else in this game tonight.
Yes. Once again, it looks like maybe LO is going to back off of those guards out there a little bit to try to stop that penetration, which I think would be a pretty good strategy. But, ooh.
Waterman.
Pickerman again.
6 blocks.
And he came from off the ball quite a ways to get that one.
He's had 2 like that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Raymer. In the corner, Milligan. Early foul trouble for him. One of the better defenders. Hackman at the top, Raymer.
See, if you go out on that guard, it happens right there.
Get a break there.
Yeah, they did. Oh, why did Spickerman not put that ball back up?
Well, the clock's your friend, although this game's way too close to play that way. Yeah. Raymer creates some space for himself. Drops it to Milligan, but an offensive foul. Only a second on Raymer. Or Coleman, I should say. Hermanson, good job getting set.
Yeah,
he just got there in time.
We're going to give Coleman a little break, getting ready for the last 4 minutes of the game.
He'll come out again. He only has 2, and again, Raymer right now, just 1 foul. And he is all over the ball guarding Dorado. Gaslick, Quarterman.
Tough shot.
Gaslick's free throw shot way off.
Gosh. So it's not what you're looking for in that situation.
Well, Jesuit likes this one-possession basketball. Milligan. Raymer beats his man again.
There's the 3 again.
Open all day. Jack Hackman, his 3rd 3. And there's block number 7 for Spickerman.
Well, that lob pass was actually intended for Hermanson, but got intercepted by his own player. Hackman goes out to get his rest so he can be ready to make another 3 if he gets a chance. Huh?
Boy, he's having a night. 11 points. His season average is 4.
Yeah. Those 2 threes have been big, big baskets that he's. Almost Coleman's back in already. He didn't even get 2 minutes rest.
Remember Jack Hackman, the guy who had to ask to be on the JV B team when he was a freshman. Raymer taking his time. This is the Jesuits' way of letting the air out of the ball a little bit. But you're always attacking in this mode.
Yeah, what they're also wanting is for you to come out and get up really tight on that guard.
Yeah, and Raymer's beat almost everybody. Quarterman staying with him. Now they tangle and go down.
Oh, that's offense.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Quarterman's the guy that locked him up. That was.
Yeah, but he had the position. I mean, it was kind of a. It'd been better
Coleman's
if you could,
3rd.
It would have been better if you could have had a no call, but there was no way. It's
too much contact with that. Matthews back in.
They need a basket. The Lakers do.
We keep talking about
goodness.
A takeaway. Oh, and a trip called. I don't know if Anderson tripped him. I think he may have just slipped.
Yeah.
But it looked like it from here. It was right in front of us.
But the problem there is that the point guard for the Lakers, Dorado, tried to make that long pass to the wing. You can't do that.
All right, here it is.
Yeah. See, that's about it.
Yeah, he stepped on the back. Just barely, though. Hey, we got to get a look at the Lake Oswego bench at some point. Connor Griffin is practically coaching with Mark Schaaf right now. He's sitting at the moment, but he's been getting up next to Mark every time.
And usually the officials are right on top of that. But championship game, they let you get away with a little more than normal.
Griffin, the very talented junior who is part of the championship football team, being recruited in both sports. Injured his foot in a slam dunk competition at the Red Bluff tournament, which LO plays it every year. Been out all year. Last night after they won the semi, he was kind of teary out in the hallway, realized he couldn't play in the championship.
Yeah, that is a tough one.
Good entry pass there. Coleman found his man. Man up once. We'll get to the line.
Jesuit got it back, I think. 3:27 to go. Well, with the tactic the Jesuits now using in offense, it puts more pressure on the LO deep offense that they've got to try to make sure they get a score when they get the ball. They're not going to maybe get very many more possessions.
And as they go to the bench, Lake Oswego, who's welcoming Lake Oswego players to the bench? Connor Griffin. That's him in the gray. You can just see him behind the group right now.
Yeah, I think Jesuit called the timeout. Yes, it did.
That's him, the dark hair and the gray sweatshirt.
Well, LO still has all their timeouts left, which they are probably going to have to use. They only have 4 fouls, so they got to think turns pretty soon of what to do with those.
See, here's Mark's new assistant coach.
Yes.
Well, he's had Gene Schmidt with him long enough.
Yes.
So, Gene's sitting on the right there. There's that football championship ring. You know, watching him in practice, he was one of those guys as a football player. You throw the ball up in the air, he just catches it.
Wide receiver or tight end?
Receiver.
Wide receiver.
And great hops. Reminds you a little bit of Jordan Bishop, Oregon State's stand. Remember him from West Salem?
Yeah.
Great high jumper. Connor's got a lot of future, both sports. Mark's kind of hoping he plays basketball only next year.
Oh, it did work.
A fumble out of bounds.
I thought the trap wasn't going to work, but it paid off for him. Stickerman, I don't think he looked the ball into his hands. He was trying to do 2 things at once. Notice that Dorado is playing a lot of point guard here. Obviously, in the pressure situation, he hasn't even been starting normally. Well, like I said, they need to get a good shot every possession, and instead they get a turnover.
Three minutes to go. The lead is back to 6. But Lake Oswego is kind of turning the screws on defense here, making it harder. Here's some trap. Rayner goes by 3 defenders.
Trouble
Gives
here.
it up. Spickerman, no, and a foul. Oh, we got Hermanson. Number 4. And I don't think Calvin was trying to foul him either.
No,
get out of the way.
I don't think so. Did that cause him to miss the shot? I don't know.
3 minutes to go. You got to leave men.
Oh, yeah. But it does limit what he can do, especially again defensively. So he's got to be really careful. That's tough.
Well, you want to get a little bigger now.
Yeah.
You know who hasn't played, I don't think, is Mitch Lomax. No, he hasn't been in. Lomax used to be a starter, good defensive forward.
He hasn't played much in this tournament. I only saw him get in 1 game.
Well, you know, he got a late start, again with football, being a starter on the football team. And, of course, he's a prime football prospect. And then as they went to that quicker lineup and moving Hermanson around, you know, they didn't have traditional bigs out there. So they didn't need Mitch as much, but he can certainly play that role. But they have not used him tonight. But I think if you're LO, you're so much more concerned with the guard play right now. You don't want to give up any speed.
No. A little interesting thing is Jesuit has pulled back a little bit on their substitution pattern. They usually play 9 kids, and they usually have 3 guys going in and out about every 2.5 minutes. I don't think Max Rich, who usually plays 8, 10, 12 minutes a game, I don't think he's gotten in the game at all. And the freshman has been used very little comparatively.
Bay has been in, but Rich has been a fixture all year for Jesuit because he brings in some bulk, and he looks, he's built like a lineman. He got great quick feet.
Oh yeah, and good hands. He's a pretty good basketball player, pretty effective, but he would have trouble defending anybody for LO. I think that's why he's not seeing much playing time or any playing time.
So Mark Schaff coaching up a storm there. You know, you mentioned Sonny Long earlier, and Mark continually credits Sonny Long for teaching him how to be a basketball coach. Mark was one of those guys. It's funny how every college has this. He was the guy hanging around at Oregon State with those Beaver teams in the early 80s. He was a noon ball player, you know, an intramural guy, but he hung out with those great Beaver teams, sort of like how Mark Few did with the Munsons at Oregon, you know, the Cresswell Mafia. And Mark absorbed a lot of coaching there.
Yeah. Well, he had a great teacher in Sonny Long.
Yeah. But he always credits Sonny for really showing him how to run a team. Spickerman's free throw is good.
See that? As soon as he gets the ball, it's double teamed.
Interception.
2 possessions in a row. See, they've had turnovers.
And now the lead is up to 7.
Yeah.
See, this is what Jesuit will do to you. Yeah. They would even let you get into your offense.
Now the lay-in.
Hello, Maddox. And this is how a 3-point game becomes a 9-point game.
Yeah. I think we're looking at a 4th straight championship. But You can hold somebody to 35 points in 30 minutes of basketball. You're going to win most all those games, and that's what they've done.
Hermanson is fouled.
So now look at the dilemma you face. You got to make the free throws, full court press them, and one of those guards will be around you before you know what's happening. Either Rayner or Coleman. So you got to get a quick trap and hope they deflect the pass. But first of all, he's got to make the free throw.
Make the free throw.
Yeah.
Well, in winning the last 3 championships, Jesuit has allowed 41 points from Lincoln, 44 to Westview, 46 to Westview last year.
That's right.
35 for LO right now.
And they've only got 44. If you went into the game saying, I'm going to play for the state championship with 2:15 to go, my opponent will only have 44 points.
It's pretty good.
You'd bet you'd give him $1 million for that.
Well, and that's the difference without the offense. Coleman again. Jesuits scored 63 when they beat Lincoln, 66 first time against Westview, 60 last year. They're winning with 46 right now, 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, they don't have, because they don't have the Kyle Wilchers.
No. Well, you look back, and it wasn't just Kyle Wilcher. You look at Jack Brodall, great outside shooter. Jordan Aquanuke, tremendous physical player.
Yeah.
And then a little further back, Stephen Holt, who's playing big time for St. Mary's right now.
And Aquanuke's playing for Santa Clara, I think. Yeah.
And
they haven't been without. You might say,
but they don't have one of those guys right now.
No,
so I think
I'm not sure any of these guys are DB1 players. The 2 guards have size working against them.
Yeah. And I guess what I'm saying is
they'll play somewhere. I don't know.
I guess what I'm saying is this is Gene Potter's best work.
Yeah.
Lake Oswego has only 1 field goal in the 4th quarter.
Well, I say they scored 16 in the 3rd quarter. And they'd scored 4 in the 4th quarter. Is that right? I think they'd scored 4 points this quarter. And they're going to.
Now they're just going to work the clock off.
Yeah.
Did you ever think you'd see anybody four-peat at the big level?
No, I did not. But there's nothing to stop them from continuing to win it on and on. I mean,
frankly,
the reality is. I mean,
because you think of the great teams, you've seen all the great teams of these past several decades. What Nick Robertson did, what Barry Adams did.
Nobody's been able to reload.
Yeah, like
see,
that.
They don't reload. Yeah, not that often.
Even Jefferson, great talent.
There's obvious advantages that private schools have, but that's not to take away from.
Probably
they also have great coaching, and
probably the best continuity of talent was the Dick Gray's Benson teams of the early '80s, the AC Greens.
Yeah, you go back. Yeah, and they had somewhat the same advantage if you stop thinking about it. They could take kids from all over the city of Portland.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't mean to degrade what Jesuit's done here. I mean,
hey, you still got to coach them. You still got to play the games.
Still got to coach them, and that's right.
Coleman being welcomed off the floor. Raymer at the line with 1:05 to go. This is a pretty spectacular feat. 4 in a row with different teams. And I'm sure some of those guys who are in college now watching tonight if they're
Gene's
not
still
playing.
coaching over there. In fact, he's up now more than he was the whole game.
Yeah, he sat most of the game.
Yeah.
Now with an 11-point lead and a minute to go, he's
too bad you can't see him on the screen.
No, he just saw for a second.
I haven't seen that dance for a long time.
Well, Elo's
50 seconds to go, and he's up 11. And
well, now he's worried about controlling the ball and getting to the line.
And he doesn't have anything to worry about, obviously.
40 seconds to go, and I don't think Elo's going to foul here. Well, now they do. I think Mark Schaaf knows when the game's over.
Yeah.
A quiet LO bench, but they had a great win. Everything they went through with the injuries, that was a great run with that team.
I had a lot of people, as usual, ask me about Jesuit's chances of winning it. And I said, well, if you got a few extra bucks and you can find somebody that'll bet against them, take it.
Go ahead. Well, you know, we sat there at the Schwab, and first we watched the talent the first night and said, oh, they don't have the guys. Then we see them playing Oak Hill, and they played 4 great games in a row. It's like, well, maybe.
This is not, this far and away, not their best team.
No.
No.
Which is more impressive. Again, that's what's more impressive to me. Raymer, what a night he has had. When it's been winning time the last 2 nights, they go to Raymer. 15-4 run to finish the game.
I think they said, we'll let you have that one.
What balance, too. Rayner was 16, 11 for Hackman, 11 for Coleman. Spickerman, 9 rebounds and 7 blocks.
He was a big factor in this game, especially early, I thought. They just established their tempo in their game right from the get-go. Other than the spurt there in the a little bit near the end of the half, and then here in the where they had it down to 6, LO really couldn't get the tempo where they wanted it.
Final 20 seconds. Well, and you know, they're used to winning at Jesuit, but you know what? For each group of young people, it's just as good.
Yeah. Oh,
they will enjoy it as much as any of them. One last foul by Hermanson, and this will be the last trip to the line.
Unlike other schools, and you say, well, I played on the state championship team. Everybody has to ask, well, which one?
Which one?
which one? But most of our schools, you say, oh, yeah, you mean the 87 team, or you mean the 68 team?
And now for the veteran players, Gene Potter will clear the bench. He may stop coaching now.
No. Oh, you mean this
now,
game?
In this moment.
This game, yeah.
He will not worry about it now, as he will clear the bench. And
yeah, he's walking on both legs now. Before there, he was hopping around on one.
Max Rich, Mike Ralston in, Henry Mondu, pretty good football player. Mondu's good. You're going to be hearing about him the next couple of years in the football field.
He's going to let the freshman come in after the free throw.
Brian Bay. Hermanson just fouled out. Finishes with 20 points. Hard-fought 20 for Calvin Hermanson. 9 rebounds.
Well, if I had to pick the All-Star team and they didn't ask me, I would say legitimately 4 of them should be on this court.
Well, I've seen
Hermanson, and I'd take 3 Jesuit kids.
Okay.
I'd take both guards and Spickerman. That'd be 4 of the top 5. But I don't pick the All-Star team, so I'm sure it won't be that way.
Last shot of the season, and it is over. Jesuit wins the state championship for the 4th consecutive year. It's not old hat for this group.
Those are the seniors. They don't get to come back next year and give it a whirl.
Lake Oswego seniors at the end of the floor. And you can see, I don't know if we got to look at him, but Connor Griffin is walking around congratulating every Jesuit player.
Yeah, and the coach. Yeah. They're both classy groups, classy programs. Got to credit the coach as well as other people involved in the school athletic program. They're both classy programs.
Well, and I know you appreciate this because this is the world you came up in. They're teacher coaches. Gene will tell you as much of what he does in the classroom. Mark has always been that way. That's the tradition of high school coaching.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, and unfortunately it's starting to fade away.
Now, these two schools very fortunate to have these two men running these programs. Trophy presentation coming up. We're going to keep it right here. We're going to visit with players and Gene Potter. Gene wants to be in that team picture first. And of course, I'll tell you the first thing Gene's going to do is give credit to his kids.
Well, yeah.
So they're going to give away the trophies. There's Gene with Spickerman. And we're going to get the trophy presentation coming up first. We're going to watch some of that.
Piece of paper.
And the celebration of the stands. They got their four-peat flags there. 4BXB2012.
They were ready, weren't they?
It's like a little text message here. All right, Keon Rayner's coming over to join us here in a second. We're going to talk about this game. Boy, when it was winning time the last two nights, I know you had a little struggle with the three-pointers the first night, but the last two nights, I mean, you've been playing with some serious energy. Where's that all coming from?
I mean, my coach, he told me, he brought me in, we talked it out. He said if we were going to have any shot at winning the state championship, he was going to need me to step up and hit some shots. So, I mean, I let it go, and, I mean, he said if we're going to lose, I mean, he said if we lose, we want you going down shooting. So, he told me to do that. My coach and my team had confidence in me, so that's what I did.
And tonight, I think people assume that it's going to be Jesuit crushing defense, but you guys came out and kind of elevated the pace of the game and made them rush a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that was Coach Potter's game plan. I mean, he's a genius. I mean, there's no way that's the only way to put it. He's a genius. I mean, he gave us a game plan. We came out and executed, and we won the game.
And I know, this is your third year in the program. Nobody really has been on the four-peat because everyone was playing JVs and freshmen. You think about the guys that came in front of you as Stephen Holt, Division I guys, Aquanuke, Kyle Wilcher. This is a really unique team that you're on.
I mean, like I said to the journalists yesterday, I mean, if you would have asked anybody outside of our team or our parents if we were going to win the state championship, let alone be in the state championship game, I don't think anyone would have said that. So, I mean, we took the challenge on. We were projected to win third in Metro, and we ended up going undefeated. And then from there, it was just, I mean, we didn't want it to stop, and finished out good.
Coach Potter, I know you said genius right there, and he's out there. He wants to be with you guys right now. As much as he wins the championships, I don't know if people realize how good he is at what he does.
I really do not think they understand. I mean, with the team that we have this year, with the amount of inexperience, I mean, 2 returners, only 1 returning starter, to have a team back in the state championship game, to have a team go undefeated in Metro League, I mean, win the state championship, I mean, it's the coach. I mean, it's nothing but the coach.
Now, you got one more year here. You want to keep this going? You think 5 is out there
yeah.
now?
I mean, we don't want it to stop ever. So, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be we're going to go through the whole process again where we're not supposed to be back here next year. We're not supposed to be back in the Rose Garden. We have our seniors leaving who are contributors. But, I mean, we're just going to have to prove them wrong again next year.
All right. Well, I think you have to go get an award here and maybe more than one. Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir.
Congratulations.
Right. Thank you very much.
That is the junior Keon Rayner, brilliant at both the semis and the finals. We have to let him go because he's about to be named to the all-tournament team.
I say he was the MVP. I don't think they have an MVP
of
the tournament, but he's the MVP of the league.
Yeah, and we'll mention the all-tournament team as they're going through it now. Calvin Hermanson and Keon Rayner both made the first team, and then the second team was Colin Spickerman. And the big guy was kind of an unsung hero with his defense, and maybe not just the shot blocking. He blocked 15 shots. His shot altering.
Yeah, they didn't take my advice, though, did they?
No, they didn't. They
didn't put 3 Jesuit kids on the first team.
You want to switch jobs next year and go pick the all-tournament team?
Well, I don't know. It would be a challenge.
Well, I'll ask you before we send everybody home, then, how much do you appreciate this Jesuit team and what they've done? I know, and people do. People say it's a private school. They play under different rules. But there is a quality to the play of their teams that has to be recognized.
I think number 14 expressed it just about as well as it can be expressed. There's no finer coach than Gene, and you got to I don't want to spend time on the history of Gene's history at Jesuit, but he had coached like 1 year at the freshman level before he became he became the varsity coach. And he first of all had the courage to take the previous 3 head coaches at Jesuit High School and make them his assistants. Herm Shattenmeyer has passed away. The other 2 are still with him.
Steve Rolfe, who's been there forever.
And Mike Simon. And that took courage, obviously. And he turned himself into the kind of coach that he is because football was his sport. So,
and he's a good defensive coach in football.
Yeah. So he's far and away the finest coach in the state of Oregon. And sure, he has good players and other advantages, but you still have to coach. And he does it. But the administration is very supportive. The whole scene at Jesuit is one of striving for excellence, whether it be in basketball or whether it be in the classroom. And so that they have a lot to be very proud of.
And with that, the 2012 basketball season comes to a close. Ken, it's great to have you with us as always.
Thank
with
you.
Your
Enjoyed
knowledge.
it a lot.
You could have coached these teams tonight. You had some good ideas out there. It's great to have you.
I wouldn't mind having either one.
No
if
kidding.
If I could have either one of them, I might
you
come
can win
back
a few
next year.
games.
I'd come
That's
back
right.
next year.
I want to thank everybody in our Play on Sports OSA Network crew tonight, and thank you for joining us. You've been watching the 2012 OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 6A Boys Basketball Championships on the OSAA Network. Jesuit with the four-peat. Good night from the Rose Garden.